All right. Good evening, Les and Fran. I want to thank you guys both for agreeing to sit down and discuss the high turnover we've been experiencing here in the accounting department. Um, I've also noticed that there's been some tension between the two of you, and so we're here today to figure out how we can reduce the turnover rate in the accounting department and come to a resolution. So. Before we begin, I do want to, remind you guys that, like we discussed in our pre-meetings, um, and looking at the mediation map of how the process is going to work. So my role is strictly going to be that of an observer. Um, in other words, I really expect you all to work through this disagreement and come to a resolution by yourselves. So which will ensure a solution, to our business problem. So are you both in agreement with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, additionally, since we are online, if you guys could just do your best to, not to talk over one another, that'll help all of us to be able to hear each other. And in our pre-meeting, we discussed the two cardinal rules. We're not going to walk away from each other. In this case, that would be disconnecting from the internet, disconnecting from the chat. And then also we want to avoid any power plays. So what that means is, hey, we want to avoid any one-sided solutions. We definitely, we don't want to offer up one-sided solutions. So we definitely want to come to a resolution for everybody involved. So with that said, I think I will go ahead and let one of you all begin.
Well, first, so I'm the supervisor, so I'm in charge of Fran. And you asked me to conduct a report because we're losing people and everyone's leaving this place. And I have 10 years experience working for Nuts and Bolts. I've dedicated a lot of time to this place. That's why I'm the manager. That's why I report directly to you. You asked me to complete a report. I completed it, and I put in the facts in there. Let's face it. I mean, we're losing people because Fran is not pulling his weight. He has the expertise in the technical aspect of this, and he's dropped the ball. I mean, I entrusted him with this. I hired him. I hired Fran. I gave him the opportunity to ensure that this nuts and bolts place is going to excel and continue to be the place for people come for their accounting. Let's face it, we're going into tax season. We need these people. We need these clients, and Fran does not want to perform. And you asked me to do the report, Mr. Hugh. I did the report. I gave you the report, and those are the facts. And you can't argue those facts. You know that you can argue the facts because they're right there. You clearly see in the exit data, people are leaving because of insufficient technical guidance. That's your job, Fran. I gave you that job.
Well, I feel like that's really just one-sided, man. I do all the work that you give me, you assign me. I feel like, I'm pretty high up there. I'm an, advanced technician, especially with the software that we have. It's outdated. I don't know why we aren't up to date with the software. I feel like it would make it easier for everybody. I feel like it's one-sided. Don't say I'm not pulling my weight. I just feel that, just because you're a boss, it doesn't mean, you're the most perfect person on the floor. I feel that you say I make a lot of mistakes. I feel like right there with me, you make just as many mistakes as I do. And I feel like
I'm not perfect. I'll be the first one to say that I'm not perfect. But we cannot argue. We cannot disregard the fact, Fran, that you are trusted with the technical aspect of this. Let's face it, I hired you. I looked at your background. You have that technical expertise. You have that expertise. You want to be someday in my shoes or you want to be in the VP shoes. So how are you proving that to me? You're not doing it. People are leaving. We need these clients. We need these
And
clients,
exactly,
Ron.
I'm doing the best that I can with everything that you give me. I feel like, sometimes it's just kind of goes overboard. I feel targeted sometimes from you. I'm not sure why. I feel like I'm the one that's being attacked. I'm the one that's being given all these assignments. I am, smart in the technical field and stuff, but, sometimes it just seems a little unfair, especially with the treatment that I've been given in these recent weeks. I don't know. It's just really bad.
So you said, Ron, that you felt it, you felt attacked. Can you give me some specific examples, maybe, of how or give Les some specific examples of how you felt attacked, or
Yeah, well, with this report, it is an example. Les is my boss. I do everything he tells me to do in terms of the work. I feel like all my work is produced in a good manner. I never only half work something. It's always 100% of my effort. And with this report, it just feels like everything was blamed on me. There's lots of fields in the department there in the office. I feel like obviously I have this level of expertise in terms of the technicalities of it. But I just feel that this report was really targeted towards me, and it's not fair that we have to have this meeting because I'm the one that's thrown under the bus, or it feels like I'm the one that's blamed for everything. When there's a ton of different stuff that we could change altogether to make everything more positive, more efficient for the office. Nuts and bolts. I really enjoy working here, but it just feels that with this report I was targeted. Everything fell on me, and at the end result, it feels like Les is just going to look for someone to blame to save his own self.
and we kind of discussed in our pre-meeting, and I just want to point it out here again. This conversation is, hey, it's between you two. So when you guys are talking, please engage with one another. This is good conversation that we're having here, and I just want to make sure that, hey, I'm staying in my observer role, and you two are able to find a resolution here. So please continue on.
Well, the thing is that I'm sticking to my guns on this, and I'll put it on you. You're the boss, all right? So I'm putting it on you now. You're ultimately going to have to make a decision because you asked for a report. I gave you a report. Those are the facts. You can't argue the facts. The exit data is there. People are fed up with not getting their technical training, their technical advice, and I entrusted Fran with that. Fran, that is your sole responsibility. The only reason I gave you those executive administrative duties was because you want to excel in your job, and you can't even do that. So how can I expect you to be in my shoes? How can I expect you to be in my shoes when you didn't do that? So, Mr. VP, you're gonna have to make a decision. It's either him or I. You make that decision because I am not gonna sit here and let him say that it's because of me when it's not. And you asked for the report. I gave you the report, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. We're here at a meeting. Nothing's happening at the meeting. Nothing's happening. We're just spinning our wheels here.
And I do want to remind I do want to remind you that, hey, keeping engaged in this essential process is crucial. As we discussed in our preliminary meeting, I want us to think about it as a solution to our business problem. And I know there's some conflict, between the whole scenario here, but I do want to keep you guys engaged and coming up with the solution for our business problem.
Well, I know the solution. I know what the solution is. I know exactly what the solution is. The solution is that Fran, you had no business looking at that report on that desk. That was none of your business. I was going to give you the courtesy to go to you and explain to you what I found in the report so we could have worked on it together. But you had to jump above me and go to the VP and tell him that you disagreed with it when you could have easily come to me first and we wouldn't be sitting here right now. We wouldn't be wasting our time right now. But
Well,
you
I
had
mean,
no business doing that. It's totally unprofessional.
it's not unprofessional because I feel like me and you aren't even friends on the office. It feels like you just target me, and if it comes down to it, you don't even have to make a choice, Mr. VP. I'll just leave. I'll just quit. This meeting, I don't know. I'm kind of done with it.
No, no, no. Now remember, we talked about no
That sounds
walkways.
like a plan to me.
I mean,
Sounds like a plan to me.
yeah, no, I mean, we discussed no walkaways. We want to come up with a mutual resolution for both gain, both gain resolution. So,
Well, I know you can't. I know you can't lose me. I've been here 10 years now. I've given 10 years of my life to you, to this business, and I made you feel good. So you can't lose me. So, you know.
and what I heard, Les, when you were talking, what I heard was that you were going to discuss the report with Fran before giving it to me. And from what I understand, Fran, you discovered the report before he was able to do that. So let's explore that a little bit. I mean, how does that make you feel, Fran?
Seeing that report, it felt like by the time I saw it, I should have already had been known about it, had been told about it by Les. I feel like he didn't really give much care to me seeing it. He kind of just put it to the side. So me seeing it before he had told me about it, it kind of just shows where I stand in this company, where I stand right now. This is exactly why I feel unappreciated. It feels like the work I do doesn't really matter, isn't appreciated by less. And I always try my best. I'm advanced in the technical field again. Not even looking at my my record and where I come from. With that, I do so much for this company, and I just feel like it's not appreciated.
So you're kind of feeling a little bit, I mean, I know you threw around a couple of words in there: attacked, judged, maybe a little bit manipulated with the report. I mean, what are some solutions that you all could come up, could come up with for that? I mean, is there some type of, I don't know, I mean, what are some solutions do you guys think that, hey, you could come up with to come to a resolution?
I don't
Well,
know.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was actually going to talk to you, Fran. I mean, I remember. Don't forget, I hired you. I looked at your resume. It's a stellar resume. I think you're an excellent employee. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have hired you. So it it made me feel just like backstabbed. You went behind my back and you found that you looked at the report and you didn't even come talk to me and I hired you and that made me feel like you just want to step on me and to get to the VP, and that's how I felt about it. And you know what, to be honest with you, it hurt me because I hired you. I looked at your resume. I feel you're a great employee, you're a great asset to this company, and and quite frankly, we need you because I got you in that role where you're at right now because you have experience that's going to make this company excel. And I was just doing what the boss said. You know what I mean? I was doing what the boss said, and I really do want you to excel. So don't think that I don't want you to excel, and I don't want you to feel attacked by me. I want you to feel accepted. I want you to feel like you mean something because you do, because I feel that. That's why I got you here, Fran.
Well, I mean, if we're looking at it that way, I probably shouldn't have just gone straight to the VP. I do feel that I should have been kind of notified, a little earlier. But you sound like you were gonna eventually get that to me. So for anything, I do apologize for going behind your back. A way that I feel that we can solve all of this is make it a little more easier, more efficient. Again, I have the background expertise in the technical field. I feel like with this company, we're not as advanced in terms of the technical aspect of it as we should be, which would make everything easier to do, easier to produce. We wouldn't be losing clients like we are. And I feel that, if we looked at it a different way, we became more advanced. Having this talk, I do feel a little better about it, but I feel like we should take more steps in terms of the technical aspect of it to get the best the best results from it.
And I just wanna apologize for you feeling like I was attacking you, because in reality, there's actually a few other things in the exit interviews that were brought up, and there's the promotional. There's not a lot of promotional opportunity in the company, and actually, as a matter of fact, there was a mention of poor leadership in the accounting department, so that falls on me. And I put that in the report too. I don't know if you remember you seeing that or not, but I put that in the report. If that falls directly on me, so I take responsibility for that. So I don't want you to feel like it's on your shoulders, because it's on mine too. So I want to carry the load just as well as you want to carry your load. And I mean, let's face it. I mean, I was once in a lower position. I know how you feel. It's a lot of work. So all I say is, hey man, if you're having issues, my door's open. I want you to come and tell me you need better software, you need better equipment, you need more training, you need whatever you need. Just come tell me, and I'll go straight up to Hugh and I'll tell him, hey, this is what we need. If you want this company to excel, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna help you out because you're gonna help me out. We're gonna help everyone out.
Good deal. Good deal. So I think, kind of what I'm hearing, and you guys feel free to jump in and state it more clearly, if there's a better way. But Fran, you're kind of gonna, work more on helping out on the tech side of things, and maybe, hey, developing some of our more junior members, and focusing on, hey, teaching them how to get better with the software and all that, and unless you're going to work more on your leadership skills, and and kind of, hey, giving those resources to Fran to help the team focus on, hey, getting our our accounting numbers, making sure those people are have the appropriate resources to do their job, essentially. So is that kind of what I'm hearing from you guys?
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
exactly, and have that open communication.
Okay, good deal, good deal. So, what I'd like to do, I'm glad we got this settled. Is there anything else that you guys feel like, hey, that you need to talk about, or need to get resolved, or you guys pretty well covered it?
Yeah, I feel like we, got everything out in the air. Obviously, there was some misunderstandings on my end, so again, I do apologize. But if Les says, everything's gonna be, how he explained it, then I look forward to, these next time in the company here in Nuts and Bolts.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and I can say this to you, Fran, that I won't leave a report on the desk of anyone else. It'll be on my desk, and if you happen to see it, or if I don't get to you before that, that's on me, and I take full responsibility. I want to talk to you before, about reports. Whenever Hugh assigns me a report, I want to have you involved in the report, and I want to get your input. That way we're on the same page, and you don't get blindsided by it, and you don't feel like I'm just making you feel like you're the one that's causing all it, because in reality, it even goes up to the VP. I mean, the VP has responsibilities too, and if we don't report to him, he's not going to know how to help us. So we're gonna do our best to make the VP and everyone else happy and make this company flourish. Our clients, we need to take care of our clients.
Perfect. So here's what I'd like to do, just to make sure that we stick to the path. I'd like to follow up with you guys in about a month, just to ensure that, hey, the resolution is going well, and that the resolution that we've come to is working. Can you guys agree to that? Maybe meet in about a month or so?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I'll send you guys a calendar invite shortly after this meeting. So I do want to thank you both for allowing me to mediate, this session for you guys, and coming up with a solution for our business problem. So, and I'm confident that, hey, with all of us working together, that Nuts and Bolts is gonna, we're gonna far, achieve greater things than we've already done. So I really appreciate you guys sitting down and having this conversation with us. So any other questions before we head out of here?
I'm good on this side.
No.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you both again. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you. Take care. VP. Bye.